This is a chance for you at a very practical level to understand the service delivery network. What we're going to look at today is the benchmark of how the service delivery system or network in this province is working today. So we'll go through material with you about how you rated or how you saw collaboration occurring. So this is all based on real data straight from the surveys that you filled out. The idea of this is that this is like a snapshot at a point in time.
It's a snapshot actually of when you answered the survey a few weeks ago. And it's only a snapshot, the list that we provided you, so you had lots of constraints, right? That's why we are looking at these systemic patterns. There were constraints in terms of the number of people that were on the map, and some of you go, well, I've got lots of connections, but no one on this list that I know. And some of you might have thought, oh, but I could only choose 10, and there were so many more that I could choose. Now, the analogy I'd like to use for that is one of, do you know Street View and Google Maps? You know, if you've got lots and lots and lots of data, you can zoom in right down to a street, you can look at a house, you can even look at a letterbox. But you need an enormous amount of data. Now, you can actually, with a lot less data, just zoom out a bit and just look at the city. And you can still see sort of the roads and the lines. And that's what we're really doing here. We've kind of forced you there's only a particular part of the world we want to look at. And the world for us were the people in the room that was going to attend the conference. That's why it was bounded by the invitation sent out to about 300 people. So that's the first limitation. Next one was just stick with 10, or try to stick with 10. That's the next level of filter. And some of you have lots more, but we're looking at systemic patterns here.
As we go through this, you want to look at what's the connection between organisations at each organisational type level. But then start to think about what are the connections and where are they between those layers of organisational types. So we're going to turn on layers, it'll be like not-for-profit, provincial government, but there are connections that go down through that as well. Okay, so we want to try and get you to get that bit of a 3D look of it. So let's turn some things on as we go.
My initial reaction is this is long overdue, and it's definitely going to have a lot of value for the businesses that are going to be using the services of these service providers in the future. I know for a fact that we're a small incubator that launched 2 years ago. There's not enough money out there to just sustain you. So you have to be creative in your service model. And the service model we found that works best is collaboration and networking and working with not only the service providers to get those specialists, the people in front of the specialists they need, but also the business community as a whole and working closely with them. It's a good model that works.
I really think it has huge potential to allow business service providers like myself to work smarter rather than harder, to allow access to people that we don't know that have the information that we're searching for. Instead of making 12 phone calls to allocate or find that information for our clients, then it's just a couple of clicks away on the web to find the information that we need.
Well, I think it's a new approach. I haven't seen and experienced in my professional career. I think that it's been long overdue to look at a new approach in terms of looking at new ways to do and provide service within the Alberta small business community. And it's exciting to be invited, and it looks like something that could potentially be cutting edge, and I'm glad to be here.
It's an interesting concept. I've been kind of watching it as the day unfolded today, and took away some interesting insights. And as you've seen, there's been a lot of interesting questions, and I think the next steps will be interesting to see what evolves from the mapping that's been done. It's interesting. We talk a lot about overlap and duplication, and I think this may be a tool that can be used for us all to show the value in what we do, but also to reduce some of that overlap and duplication and ensure that we're referring to the right organizations. Personally, I found that there's probably not the linkages throughout the province that I actually thought there might have been. I wasn't surprised at my own network, but maybe just surprised that there wasn't greater linkages. There's still a lot of silos, and communities are still there's linkages in communities, but not greater linkages to other communities and other resources and other areas.
What we find with a lot of our entrepreneurs is we know there's a service available, but if you just knock on a door without an introduction, sometimes you feel like you're hitting your head against the wall. That introduction makes it more seamless, and they're a lot more likely to get the service that they need to be successful.
Oh, it's huge. We're not all walking, talking encyclopedias as individuals. And so what I don't know, I know somebody in my networking group may know, or know somebody who knows. So there's a wealth of information that is out there available to us.
Anything that can be done to improve networking and collaboration within the service provider community is important. What the future looks like, who knows? But the day-to-day business that service providers have, at the front lines is daunting. Anything that can help facilitate that work and to make it a little easier to provide the services to the community and to the clients within our community is very important. So what that looks like, who knows? I just think that it's baby steps. Concept looks good. Let's keep moving it ahead.
Yeah, of course, at the end of the day, it's all about the clients and ensuring they get the best service and ensuring that Albertan businesses get the supports they need so that they can be as successful as possible. We all know that starting up a business is terribly hard, so we want to make sure that they can get pointed to where they need to get their help from.
I'd like to see it become an international network because our entrepreneurs are working outside of the province and importing, exporting even into the U.S. So the international connections and the national connections are just as important as the provincial.
I think there would be a lot of condensation of services, less redundancy, and allow the clients to be more aware of what we offer, how accessible we are, and basically we're there to help them do business better.
Greater, as the word that's been used a lot, greater transparency in what's available and services provided and a roadmap of where those services are.